Did you know Japan boasts more centenarians per capita than any other country in the world, with over 99,000 people living beyond the age of 100 as of the latest census? That is roughly one centenarian for every 1,400 citizens, a statistic that leaves demographers speechless and longevity researchers scrambling for answers. While Americans pour thousands of dollars into gym memberships, boutique fitness classes, cryotherapy chambers, and cutting-edge supplements promising eternal youth, Japanese elders in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s are quietly, almost effortlessly outliving much of the industrialized world. They are not locked in sterile labs or hooked to IV drips of experimental peptides. They are in their gardens, on quiet neighborhood paths, or simply sitting on tatami mats in their living rooms. Harvard Medical School dispatched a multidisciplinary team of neurologists, geriatricians, and physiologists to the islands of Okinawa, Kyushu, and Honshu for 5 full years. Their mission: decode the biological machinery behind these super-agers. What they uncovered was nothing short of astonishing. It was not solely the famed Okinawan diet of purple sweet potatoes and bitter melon. It was not merely the genetic lottery of FOXO3 variants. The true engine of their longevity lay in 6 simple daily movements so subtle, so woven into the fabric of ordinary life that Western doctors initially dismissed them as cultural quirks rather than medical gold. But the brain scans told a radically different story. Japanese elders who practiced these 6 habits daily showed 40% slower cognitive decline than age-matched controls in Boston and London. Their joints remained limber and cartilage-rich decades longer than expected. Their balance rivaled that of people 20 years younger, even when tested on unstable surfaces. Stanford's Longevity Center, after reviewing the Harvard data, quietly dubbed this constellation of movements the most underappreciated key to extreme lifespan in modern science. Today, you're going to learn these exact 6 movements step by step, starting with the simplest and culminating in the most transformative. But brace yourself for number 1. It is a movement that, in a landmark 20-year prospective study of 15,000 Japanese seniors, extended average lifespans by 7 full years. It takes just 2 minutes, requires no equipment beyond a common household item, and activates more brain regions than any physical activity neuroscientists have ever studied, even more than complex dance or Tai Chi. The fMRI images look like Christmas trees. Before we dive in, drop a comment below with your age and where you are watching from. We read and respond to every single comment, so let us build a global community of future centenarians. Share yours now. Without further delay, let us begin with movement number 6. Do not be fooled by its place on the list. It is the cornerstone of every Japanese elder's day, the quiet ritual that sets the physiological tone for the next 24 hours. Number 6, the art of Sampo slow walking. This might sound too basic to matter. After all, everyone walks. But in Japan, slow walking, or Sampo, is treated like a daily dose of prescription medicine, non-negotiable, sacred, and timed with the precision of a tea ceremony. Unlike the brisk power walking popular in the West, where fitness trackers scream at you to hit 10,000 steps at a heart-pounding clip, Sampo is deliberate, mindful strolling at roughly half your usual pace. Picture a velocity so leisurely that a child on a tricycle could lap you. Japanese elders often practice Sampo for 20 to 30 minutes each morning, typically before breakfast, when the streets are still cool and the air smells of dew on cedar. The secret lies not in distance, but in the slowness paired with a precise breathing rhythm. Inhale for 2 steps, hold for 2 steps, exhale for 4 steps. This 2-2-4 cadence syncs your cardiovascular and parasympathetic nervous systems in ways that fast walking simply cannot replicate. It is like tuning a string instrument to perfect pitch. A 2019 Kyoto University longitudinal study followed 3,000 seniors over 60 for an entire decade. Those practicing Sampo daily had 62% less arterial stiffness, a key predictor of heart attack and stroke. Their systolic blood pressure dropped an average of 12 points, and diastolic by 8 points, reductions comparable to low-dose antihypertensive medication but without side effects. The slow pace ensures your foot fully contacts the ground, engaging all 33 joints in each foot. This sends a cascade of proprioceptive signals to the cerebellum, sharpening spatial awareness and reducing stumble risk. In a fascinating crossover trial, Western seniors in Seattle who adopted Sampo for 8 weeks increased their single-leg balance time by 45 seconds, a gain that typically requires months of balance board training. One 72-year-old participant, a retired accountant named Margaret, reported that she could finally descend her front porch steps without gripping the railing like a mountain climber. To practice Sampo, focus on rolling your foot from heel to arch to toes with each step as if you are gently kneading warm dough. Keep your gaze about 6 feet ahead, not down at your shoes. This activates neck proprioceptors and improves posture. Let your arms swing gently, hands relaxed, fingers slightly curled like you are holding a fragile egg. The breathing rhythm takes practice, so count steps aloud initially in 1, 2, hold 3, 4, out 5, 6, 7, 8. Mornings are ideal because cortisol levels are naturally higher and the slow cadence amplifies the calming effects on the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. Avoid treadmills, they impose an artificial gait and disrupt natural foot mechanics. Instead, opt for varied terrain like grass dirt paths or wooden boardwalks. A University of Tokyo biomechanics study found that uneven natural surfaces boosted joint mobility by 20% compared to concrete thanks to micro-adjustments in ankle dorsiflexion. If you are new, start with 10 minutes building to 30 minutes over 4 to 6 weeks. One 84-year-old woman in Nagano told researchers she walks the same 400-meter loop around her local shrine 75 times every morning, her personal Sampo rosary. Number 5, Ragio Taiso Radio Calisthenics. Every morning at 6:30 a.m., sharp a soothing piano melody, unchanged since the Showa era, echoes across Japan's public radio network, NHK. It is the signal for Ragio Taiso, a 3-minute, 15-second sequence of 13 flowing stretches performed by millions of Japanese from toddlers to nonagenarians. First broadcast in 1928, it is older than television, yet more ubiquitous than smartphones. Do not picture boot camp calisthenics. This is a gentle, continuous flow targeting every major muscle group while keeping joints bathed in synovial fluid. Osaka Medical College studied 8,000 seniors over 60 for 6 years. Those doing daily Ragio Taiso had 40% fewer falls, 55% less chronic back pain, and preserved near full shoulder and hip range of motion into their 80s. One 91-year-old participant could still raise her arms overhead to hang laundry without a step stool. The dynamic stretches boost synovial fluid production by up to 30%, countering the viscous gel-like state joints fall into overnight. The sequence begins with arm raises to open the chest, improving diaphragmatic breathing. Raise both arms overhead while inhaling deeply through the nose, feeling the ribcage expand like a paper lantern. Lower while exhaling through pursed lips, imagining you are blowing out birthday candles one by one. Next come arm rotations forward, circles the size of dinner plates, then backward to loosen the rotator cuff. Gentle torso twists maintain thoracic spine flexibility. Think of wringing out a wet towel without force. Side bends stretch the obliques and intercostal muscles between the ribs. Leg movements include light marching in place and shallow squats, never dropping below 90 degrees to keep knees and hips mobile without compressive load. The rhythm slightly elevates heart rate into the fat-burning zone, 50 to 60% of max, but never induces strain. For best results, do this upon waking, when sleep-induced growth hormone peaks make muscles and connective tissues most receptive to elongation. Move smoothly, like gliding through water, never forcing or bouncing. Ballistic stretching triggers protective reflexes that tighten muscles. If the full routine feels daunting, prioritize arm raises and torso twists for maximum benefit with minimal effort. Many Japanese workplaces and schools start the day with group Ragio Taiso. A Ministry of Health survey found these employees take 30% fewer sick days due to reduced musculoskeletal complaints. If you are finding these tips valuable, hit the like button to help more seniors discover this video and subscribe with notifications for daily science-backed health tips you will not want to miss. Number 4. Shiko Zuwari, Deep Squat Rest. Walk through any Japanese park at golden hour and you will see elders resting in a deep squat, heels flat on the ground, knees splayed comfortably backs, relaxed as naturally as Westerners sit in armchairs. They chat with neighbors, shell edamame, or simply watch grandchildren chase dragonflies, holding the position for 10, 20, even 30 minutes with ease. Most Westerners over 60 cannot hold a deep squat for 10 seconds without toppling or their heels popping up like startled cats. This is not just flexibility, it is a primal position humanity occupied for millennia while cooking over fires, defecating in fields, birthing children before chairs colonized the modern world. Japanese seniors maintain it daily, totaling 20 to 30 minutes in this posture across multiple micro-sessions. A 12-year longitudinal study by the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology tracked 5,000 seniors. Those who could deep squat comfortably for 2 minutes had a 70% lower chance of needing assisted living by age 85. They maintained hip mobility for daily tasks, tying shoes, getting in and out of bathtubs, and preserved independence 9 years longer than non-squatters. The squat opens the hips, fully external rotation, plus flexion prevents joint capsule tightening, enhances ankle dorsiflexion for balance, strengthens pelvic floor muscles, reducing incontinence, and decompresses the lumbar spine by tilting the pelvis into neutral. Harvard's Global Orthopedics Division found that cultures practicing regular deep squatting have 80% fewer hip replacements and 60% fewer knee replacements, percent less lower back pain than chair-sitting societies. To start, squat with your back against a wall for support, feet shoulder width apart, toes turned out 15 to 30 degrees. Lower slowly until your thighs are parallel to the ground or lower knees tracking over toes. If heels do not touch the ground, a common issue from years in heeled shoes, place a rolled towel or yoga block under them. Hold 30 seconds initially, breathing deeply into the belly, gradually increasing to 2 to 3 minutes. Frequent short squats, 5 1-minute sessions daily, are superior to one long hold for building endurance. Integrate it into life. Squat while gardening, playing with grandkids, brushing teeth, or waiting for the kettle. This builds functional mobility for lifelong independence. One 78-year-old farmer in Hokkaido told researchers he squats to pick strawberries for 4 hours straight without knee pain, his personal record. Number 3, Ashi single leg standing. In Japan, primary care doctors prescribe single leg standing like blood pressure pills, recommending 1 minute per leg twice daily for everyone over 60. It is even reimbursed by national health insurance due to its ironclad evidence base. A 15-year prospective study by Fukuoka University followed 12,000 seniors. Daily practitioners had 68% fewer hip fractures and 75% fewer serious falls requiring hospitalization. 3T MRI scans showed increased gray matter volume in the cerebellum and basal ganglia brain regions governing coordination and balance. Standing on one leg triggers thousands of micro adjustments per minute via ankle, knee, and hip musculature. Proprioceptors in joints, the vestibular system in the inner ear, and visual processing in the occipital lobe all sharpen in real time. It is like a full system software update for equilibrium. Start near a wall or chair for safety. Lift 1 foot an inch off the ground, knee bent at 90 degrees, and focus on a point 10 feet away to stabilize the vestibular system. Hold for 30 seconds, then switch legs. As you improve, close your eyes for 5 to 10 seconds to challenge non-visual balance systems. Elders often do this while brushing teeth or waiting for the microwave, turning dead time into neural gold. Progressions add head turns side to side, arm raises overhead, or small foot circles like stirring soup. For advanced instability, stand on a folded towel or foam pad. Mayo Clinic researchers found that single leg standing time predicts all-cause mortality better than blood pressure, cholesterol, or BMI. Those over 60 who can balance for 30 seconds have mortality rates akin to people 10 years younger. Number 2, Seiza floor-sitting transitions. Japanese seniors over 70 transition from standing to floor-sitting and back over 20 times daily while eating on zabuton cushions, socializing at kotatsu tables, or relaxing in front of the TV. This complex multi-joint movement preserves strength, flexibility, and coordination in ways no gym machine can replicate. A University of Tsukuba cohort study of 10,000 seniors found that regular floor sitters had 40% greater lower body strength as measured by leg press, 50% better hip internal rotation, and could rise unassisted into their 90s. Their cognitive scores on the mini mental state exam were 15% higher because each transition activates the prefrontal cortex and cerebellum for planning and execution. Technique from standing: step 1 foot back and lower one knee to the floor, then the other, arriving in a kneeling position. Shift weight to sit cross-legged anza or side-sitting yokoza. To rise, plant 1 foot forward into a lunge, push through the heel, and bring the trailing foot alongside. Use smooth, controlled motion, no momentum or hand assistance. Beginners use a low stool or ottoman to reduce range of motion, gradually lowering over weeks. Practice on soft surfaces like carpet or futons to cushion knees. 2 to 3 transitions daily yield measurable benefits. Aim for 10 to 20 as proficiency grows. Japanese elders do not see this as exercise, it is simply how life is lived. A Brazilian epidemiological study replicated the findings. Adults who can rise from the floor without using hands live 6 years longer on average, even after controlling for wealth, education, and comorbidities. Number 1. Tanui Hibiki Towel Twist. This is the game changer the movement centenarians credit for their final decade of vitality. It requires only a hand towel, the same one you dry your face with, and takes 2 minutes flat. Taku University attached 128-channel EMG electrodes to seniors performing the towel twist. The readout lit up like a city skyline. Deep spinal stabilizers, multifidus rotatoris, intrinsic foot muscles, abductor hallucis, even facial muscles, orbicularis oris fired in symphony muscle groups untouched by conventional exercises. A 20-year prospective study of 15,000 Japanese seniors found that daily towel twisters lived 7 years longer than non-practitioners. They maintained grip strength sufficient to open jars until age 92, and bone density scans revealed femoral neck T-scores equivalent to people 20 years younger. PET scans showed enhanced hippocampal activity, slashing dementia risk by 42%. How to perform. 1. Roll a hand towel lengthwise into a tight cylinder. 2. Hold it at shoulder height, hands 18 inches apart, elbows slightly bent. 3. Pull outward as if trying to tear the towel in half, isometric tension. 4. Keeping hips square, twist torso right, holding peak contraction for 3 seconds. 5. Return to center while inhaling, then twist left on exhale. 6. Maintain steady outward tension throughout, think wringing out a wet cloth. 7. Complete 10 twists per side, about 1 minute rest, 30 seconds repeat. Breathing inhale, returning to center, exhale during twists. This rhythm stimulates the vagus nerve, triggering an anti-inflammatory cascade via the cholinergic pathway. Beginners use light tension, advanced users deepen twists and slow the tempo to 5-second holds. Perform morning and evening, each session 1 minute, to maximize myokine release. IL-6 irisin, which act like fertilizer for brain-derived neurotrophic factor BDNF and insulin sensitivity. One 101-year-old woman in Okinawa demonstrated the move for researchers while sipping mugwort tea. She twisted the towel 30 times per side without breaking a sweat, then stood up from the floor unassisted to refill their cups. Conclusion: a holistic system, not a workout. The secret to Japanese longevity is not high-tech gadgets, exotic supplements, or genetic luck. It is these 6 timeless movements, a holistic system that preserves strength, flexibility, balance, and brain health without equipment, gym fees, or joint-pounding impact. Sampo recalibrates your nervous system. Ragio Taiso lubricates every hinge in your body. Shiko Zawari keeps hips and spine youthful. Ashi bulletproofs your balance. Seiza maintains functional strength. Tanui Hibiki ties it all together with neural and hormonal magic. Research proves that those who adopt these habits age differently, staying independent, sharp, and vibrant into their 90s and beyond. You can keep chasing Western fitness trends that fight aging like a battle, or embrace these natural movements that guide you gracefully through life like a river stone polished by centuries of water. The Japanese have shown us how science has stamped its approval. Will you start today? Tell us in the comments, which of the 6 movements excites you most and why? What is your current age and fitness level? Have you tried any Japanese habits before? Squat toilets, floor dining, slow walking? Did they improve your strength, balance, or mood? Share your thoughts. We read and respond to every single comment. Let us build the largest community of future centenarians the internet has ever seen. Thanks for watching. If this video added years to your life expectancy, share it with someone you love. See you in the next one. Stay strong, stay supple, stay Japanese at heart.